You are listening to UIM Ramble video number 8. And here I am on my UIM level 3 with my combat alt on the top left corner. And it's been about a month since my last Ramble video. I did say that I would like to make more Ramble videos. I haven't really done that many more Ramble videos. Matter of fact, reason I wanted to make this one was because I'm still behind on my Ramble videos in comparison to my progress videos. I dropped progress video number 9, which included my ninth 99, which has been kind of an exciting thing that was done, 99 farming. So because of that, I figured that I needed to do at least Ramble video 8 and 9, maybe even 10, before I drop progress video number 10. Now, progress video number 10 is in the works. It's definitely nowhere near complete because I need to have a 99 for it. And I show everything that I'm doing until that. So as I imagine, the videos will get shorter and shorter as I get through the progress video series. And then once I've hit max, which, I'm aiming for it, but I think I can do it looking at my stats and everything. But it is something that it takes time and effort and energy. And there's always things changing. So, you can't really quite control everything. But I imagine that after I max, I'll continue making progress videos. I'll continue making ramble videos. I have some ideas for some other series that I'd like to do, some interesting fun stuff, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in this ramble video. But I don't want to XP waste too much, but I am going to be doing some crafting, so I figured I would just try to go over what this ramble video is going to be in order. So we're going to start with current achievements since the last Ramble video. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Then we'll talk about future goals because some of those goals have shifted because of the fact that, I went in a very different way than I originally thought I was going to. And so that has affected things. And then also there's an IRL component to that. So I want to talk about IRL updates as well. Been a ton of change there. So that's definitely affected progress, but I'm still charging forward. And I've stayed consistent. I mean, I might dabble in other accounts. I'll never say that I won't do that, but I'm dedicated and focused to UIM being my main. It's the account that I want to play every single time I log in. Now, sometimes I don't feel like playing it, but that's because I just don't feel like playing. Not really because I don't feel like playing this account. And obviously, I'll always have itches for other things. I've got some other accounts that maybe if I ever have time, or once I get to a point that this account is really AFK, I could see myself investing a little bit more energy into. But for now, and for the foreseeable future, just want to say, this is my main. So, as you can see, I did get 99 farming, not to be confused with the combat alt that is also wearing the farming cape, because it's easy to use to get here to the farming guild and then running up northeast. So, that is why, and I'm in an area for crafting. I'll be doing crafting, but after 99 farming, which is something that I had put off forever, honestly, the best route for my account would have been to do thieving, fishing, then gone for farming, then just done a bunch of post thieving, then did agility while I got everything for 9 and herb. Like that would kind of have been the route that I should have gone, or GP before that, post GP from RC to get 99 construction, right? So just gotten it done, or done 99 construction after the feud came out, which I did not. So I would have had, I guess, an extra 80 mil GP. So I'm kind of happy that I did do my RC first because it feels like my account is kind of the old way of maxing a UIM level 3. Not the oldest way, right? Obviously, getting the 0 combat XP is a lot easier now. It's not like it's easy, but it's a lot easier now than it was before. So yeah, it's definitely, it's a little bit different, and I'm kind of happy about that. It just feels like I wasn't just dealing with so much GP that it was easy to just max every skill. Like I've had to work with what I had to get certain skills, and some of those skills, even though they feel like gatherers, they also cost money, like crafting and smithing. So, and construction, of course. So it's kind of funny because I put off farming by like 399s. I essentially did, after fishing and cooking, I did hunter, woodcutting, and fletching. So I did 399s. Now, I could not have predicted the timing of forestry, and I could not have predicted the, I guess, the cost of fletching really um, pushing me into a great direction for my account, because when I spent 40 mil on fletching, it's like, well, I could have spent that GP on construction, and I should have. Like, logically, it would have made sense to not waste any GP on fletching. Matter of fact, not even waste any GP on construction and just go for 200 mil fire making. Like, that's what every standard person does when they're starting an iron level 3. It's like, I should, if I want to be super efficient, I should do 200 mil fire making. And I didn't really want to do that, to be honest. And not because I was intimidated by fire making. It's not my favorite skill to train, but Wintertot isn't horrible to solo. But it's because I'm also a collection log person. So I wanted to get everything from Mahogany Homes. I wanted to get everything from forestry. And I didn't get it by 99 woodcutting even. So it made sense that, I should get all the shafts the entire time I'm doing woodcutting. And if I have all the shafts, then I might as well get 99 fletching. And by doing that, it actually caused me to take a different route. Now, by doing fletching, I didn't want to waste time just sitting or standing the whole time. So I did a lot of my fletching early on through Hunter. And that really changed the direction for my account, because who would have predicted the Hunter Guild? Who would have predicted the Hunter Guild cape teleport in proximity? At least for UIM, it's better because I don't want to have the whistle and keep that all the time. In proximity to an additional herb patch. So that would have been a cape that I would have had to go for eventually. I wouldn't have wanted to do it without gathering all the supplies for crafting. So that's how I got my giant seaweed that I have. And, I definitely have wanted to train some other skills and hop a little bit more. And I've been doing that. Now, since 99 farming, I have done quite a bit of what I said I would do, but also I've been a little bit off the mark having fun. So I will try to keep this a little bit shorter, but what I did do is I got 90 smithing, and I did actually test out the mithril plate body method, found it to be very enjoyable and profitable, made all of the GP, so I got over 10 mil GP, so I saw the green GP stack purely from smithing. I was down to like, I don't know what it was, like 10k GP or something like that. I had no money. And yeah, it was really cool to just do smithing and get up to 10 mil GP and see that green stack and hit 90. Now 90 is not halfway, and I have a long way to go, but I got all that GP, and then I spent all that GP, well, half of it, about 5 mil, on getting the remaining buckets of sand for 99 crafting. Now, there are a ton of ways to do 99 crafting, right? And there's really AFK ways. There's through high XP, post XP, and AFK methods like shooting stars. There's amethyst. There's also, glass like this in various ways in different places, and some cost more GP than others. And I just wanted to pay for it, and it was like 5 mil for the remaining amount of buckets of sand. So I just thought, well, why don't I just go do some mining too? So after I got all my buckets of sand, I was like, I'm not even 90 mining. I was like 88 mining. So I did some shooting stars just to check it out. And it basically, between 88 and 90, I had enough for 81 crafting. And I'd already been close to it, so I was like, you know what? I've got all my materials for 99 crafting. I should go do some crafting. So here I am, delaying construction. Again, I'm delaying another skill, and it's just kind of crazy. So the goal was to just get 99 smithing, not do any mining, and or any crafting, and just go for construction. But I really enjoyed it. To be honest, I like having clean stats. I like getting higher. It feels like I'm getting closer and closer to 90 base, which is something I had achieved in my last video was 80 base. So going for 90 base, I don't really see that that's like something I'm going for, because I'd have to do crafting. Then I'd have to do post 90 smithing anyways to get 99 construction, which why would I just get 90 con? So I'm not really going to be doing 90 base because it feels like that would take and stretch out a lot of time and also be too much content for video number 10 because I want to save some of those skills, right? And some of that progress for some of the other 9 videos. So I predict that I'm going to aim for max, and I even after that I'm going to make progress videos. I'm still going to make ramble videos. I'm going to have some different series and I have some different ideas that we'll talk about a little bit. But the goals that have shifted. So I did complete everything in smithing and feel confident in the method, feel comfortable with the method, but I do need my current desktop that I'm on just because it's just what I have set up. It just feels good to do it on it. Doing it on a MacBook just sucks, and recording any of this on a MacBook sucks, and we'll get to why that's also delayed a little bit of progress. But I'd be further in smithing, obviously, if I wasn't doing mining and getting my buckets of sand and then doing shooting stars and then training some crafting and doing some construction. I think before 99 farming, I was like 75 construction, 80 smithing, and 85 mining. So decent amount of levels. I did pass the 150 mil total XP mark and hit 1425 total level with no Slayer crutch. So I'm very proud of that. I feel like my account is looking good. And one thing I really enjoy is actually post XP, and I've barely got to do that on this account. 17 mil hunter, 17.8 mil thieving, barely any woodcutting. Like I really enjoy post XP. There's something very satisfying for me already having a 99 and just training the skill and not really, I guess, measuring how much XP am I getting per day, but just endlessly training the skill for the enjoyment of it. So doing maxing is actually a little bit difficult for me, but I feel like if I get to the point where I am maxed, then I'll really feel like I can just enjoy going for post XP in one skill that I really want to do. But let's be honest, after that, I'm going to want to finish collection logs, and this entire time on the road to max, the other reason I haven't maxed like perfectly or meta efficiently is because I'm actually going for collection logs. So I'm trying to complete everything, and it's a little bit crazy with real life, which I'll talk about, but some of those things have changed. So I definitely didn't just only do smithing, and now what I'm looking at in my account, I'm kind of thinking about what's next, because the idea is that I would get maybe like 87 crafting, which would unlock Dogashan orbs, and I'd have the like I would have the best XP per hour method for me with my supplies for crafting. I've also been XP wasting for like 12 minutes, but I don't care. It's a ramble video. So yeah, that's something that I don't know if I want to go for 87 and then just leave it at 87. But sometimes I like doing stuff in batches instead of just doing it like an OSAT would. And it's not because I can't do it or I'm not enjoying the skill. I usually am. It's just I like a little bit of variety here and there. And I don't have the input every day that a lot of other players have. I mean, and that's okay. I've been able to get this far without that input, which encourages me. And also, I hope that it'll help others eventually who watch my videos to realize like they can do it too. So, that being said, I did get a new job. There are some changes that happened in real life, and I guess I can get into that a little bit in a moment. But basically, bottom line is I got a new job, and that new job is, yeah, it's going to be hard to even really AFK too much. Meaning I'll have to like, if I am playing while working, it's going to be like super AFK, and that means, unfortunately, probably one of the best methods for AFKing is either going to be shooting stars or amethyst. Because I really have no purpose in doing post woodcutting XP right now. And I'm not just going for EHP. I think 925 EHP at the moment, so I have 75 hours before I hit 1K. I'll definitely get that between mining and agility. I'll probably even get some more from smithing and a little bit from construction. The crafting is giving me a tiny bit. So I know I'll hit 1K EHP. I think I'll hit it this year still because I mean, it's hard to say because I'm not really doing the skills that are going to give me the most EHP, like agility and mining. And I didn't really want to do agility until I had everything set up for farm runs with 99 con and all of the capes and the perks from that to just perfectly do perfect farm runs while I'm doing agility to get everything I need for 99 Herblore. And now there's that Herblore minigame. So I've dropped tons of Guams and Marantils and Terramin, which, to be honest, probably wouldn't matter that much, but given the state of things and no secondaries needed, like that could have been a lot of actual XP. So it is a little bit annoying that I dropped those. I just try not to keep everything. Now I am. So when I do go for the next thieving grind, I don't know, maybe I will. There's also a lot of things that are changing in the game, like the potential for quests to give XP lamps, which is a little bit interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that it could be cool, but I also think that it could be kind of annoying if it changes a build that I don't really want to change all that much. But I totally, I don't really want to stop anybody from having a lot of fun and trying different unique challenges. So we'll see how it affects UIM level 3. I don't think it'll affect it all that much. I think there might be some quests like Pirate Pete, or not Pirate Pete, but the RFD Evil Dave quest. So I would be able to get my Hellcat, which I have a Wily Cat from Ratcatcher. So I would have like I don't know, Wily Hellcat or whatever the best Hellcat is. Um, that would be cool. That'd be cool. I do think that there are some things that it would benefit and change, and it might give me some more content on the account to do. But I feel like there's plenty. Like there is so much to do on this account. Like even if I max, I still have so many collection logs to go for. My boy Iron Flash has been doing that like crazy. He's at 500 plus collection logs now. The dude has popped off since he died. He's just been popping off on everything that he wasn't really that worth risking for as a hardcore. So it's cool to see that. It has me kind of wanting to do that, especially with Concape at some point, being able to do easy so smoothly. And I really want to get beginners done because if I get beginners done, then I can drop my Drayman staff. I don't really want to have to go re-obtain my Drayman staff until all beginners are done, because it's so fast to get back to there by the Ring of Elements, water teleport, and then going in straight through and then right into Pure. I don't even have to worry about world hopping or finding the crop circle or anything like that. So yeah, those are things that I want to do, like even just 500 easies. I want to do a ton of easies. Like I want to have way more in my POH stored that I can pull out and just more collection logs. So it's kind of hard. I do think that I'm going to hit 83 crafting. That will set me up for if I wanted to go for 92 mining via stars, then I could AFK those 2 levels, and then I could do amethyst. Now, I think the lowest amethyst is level 83, and it's amethyst bolt tips. So I mean that's pretty cool. At 89, amethyst dart tips would be post fletching XP too. But doing amethyst all the way till 99 mining I don't think it would get me like that high of crafting. Like maybe between shooting stars and amethyst, I might have some gems and I might get like 87, which would unlock Dorgashon light orbs. But yeah, I don't know. For glass, it kind of stinks that there's such a big gap between Bullseye Lantern Lens at 49 and that XP and Dorgashon light orbs. Like I do wish there was a couple, like one thing in between that increased the XP and then something higher in glass, because glass is such a common way to go for it. But that would be kind of asking for it to be easier, and I feel like I have the best method I could do. So yeah, I've been rambling a lot, like for 20 something minutes. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do crafting maybe till 85, maybe till 87, maybe till 90. Now, I don't think I want to do 90. I think I'm going to do 85 because I do need to focus on Smith and I don't want to put off con like I put off farming because I do enjoy construction. And if I can get 85 crafting, then my crafting and my construction are a similar level, which means cranes will be a little bit more of a benefit because I could be leveling both of them at the same time. And I only really need to go for, I don't know, one last, it's the biggest one though, but I have one last collection log for Mahogany Homes, which is the POH blueprints. So after I finish that, which I should be like 90 construction, I have no reason to do Mahogany Homes. If I can get 99 construction doing cranes with a couple of alts for cheaper and get crafting XP. Now, it does feel like I've kind of wasted getting all of these supplies for crafting, but the truth is, I mean, I haven't, right? I just haven't. I definitely have, I would say, gotten at least post XP. So even if I get a 99 and I have a bunch of materials for post XP that would get me to like 23 mil crafting or something, that's great. It's not like I'm perfectly meta efficient for 200 mil all at all. But yeah, I mean, I definitely could be doing, you know, some post XP that might be desirable. So it's kind of interesting to think about what I will ultimately do in the end. But I'm perceiving that maybe what I'll do is 85 crafting, go do some more smithing. And then once I've done that smithing, I can decide if I want to go for construction to 90 to get Mahogany Homes greenlogged. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm only like 5 crafting levels away. Maybe I just do crafting. But it's hard because there's so many different things to do in between a 99 and a progress video. But if I do too much widespread at this point, because I'm at the higher levels, it takes a lot longer to get the videos out. Now, I don't mind that. My channel has definitely never been about making money. And I'm shocked that I even have, as many subs as I do. I'm very grateful for that. It's cool to have people that like, somebody who's far less known and underground and all of that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the route is to get, basically the route is to get my 99 smithing as fast as I can and get all the GP I need and more and do 99 construction. At that point, I have everything for 99 herb. Now, I don't think I can get it done before the Herblore or Herby or whatever it's called, the Herblore. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Herby. The Herblore update comes to Varlamore. I don't know how OP that's going to be, but if that is OP, then I'd be in the right position for it. I could go do thieving and do agility and get a lot of herbs via farm runs and then just go do Herblore. Because I'd have every single skill cape that I would need for doing that, which would be fishing, hunter, farming, thieving, and construction capes. And I already have my stamina pool and my POH and all that, so that would be really fun. So we'll see, but I think the plan is going to be 99 smithing. I think I might just do either 85 or 87 crafting. I've been thinking about 87, so that way when I come back, it's only orbs and I get the best crafting XP possible. But I do like doing things in smaller chunks, and I don't really want to do something like 80 to 99 crafting in one go only. Like, that is not something I want to do. It feels like sometimes I'm playing an OSAT to some degree, because once you get past a certain point on UIM, you really can just go for 199 at a time. So, yeah, I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to, after construction, maybe even take a semi-little break from just skilling and do something like 500 easy clues, because I've been wanting to do that for a while. All the clues I have done were for getting the purple sweets to do the quest that requires you to basically eat like crazy It's, yeah, I think getting ahead is the one. I think that's what it's called off the top of my head. Get it? So, yeah, that's something that I want to do. There's just so much to do on my account. That's what I love about this mode. It feels like I should be absolutely like bored out of my brain. But there's actually so much to do. Like even once I finish maxing, I will have all the pets to go for, which fortunately I have a lot of the good ones that wouldn't really want to farm, but I'd have a lot of collection logs to complete that are close to final sets where I'd be green logged that I'd want to get done. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 99 smithing after either 85 or 87 crafting. If I have to, because work is too crazy with my new job, I just go for 99 mining. Just use shooting stars. Like when there's a time in life where you need to use shooting stars, I think that's when you use shooting stars. So now that I know I don't need to do any more mining, I thought for some reason it was going to take me like 99 mining to get all the buckets of sand. Like I never calculated it quite. So I always thought that I was going to need like way, way more mining XP. And that's not the case at all. So basically, at some point, I'll have to do either amethyst or shooting stars. And I probably should just do shooting stars. So there might be a couple of like random things, like I just do shooting stars and get 90 crafting. If for some reason that does happen, though, it's because I'm trying to make progress, even though I have a lifestyle that's pretty busy, and I don't want to stop playing the game just because I can't do the thing that is the next best or right thing I want to do in my achievements or goals for my achievements. Honestly, no matter what I do at this point, since I'm past farming, I pretty much enjoy all of it. And I've so far transcended beyond what bag was that I am actually getting to the phase where I'm really enjoying the mode. Because some of this stuff I never did. A lot of it I never did. I got pretty far in bag, but now I'm so far past bag that I'm UIM. So it's really exciting to be in that phase. Like even doing this method, which is like 52k an hour doing the low orbs or the bullseye lens. Like that's really good. The Varlamore method, that would be like, I don't know, 52k an hour for I don't know, just the other ones. Just the Dorgashon orbs, 52k an hour, and I'm doing that with bullseye lens. So, and I have these supplies, I might as well use them. It's also a very chill method, like nobody's out here. So it's a little bit quieter. And I kind of like it that way. So it's very chill. Sometimes there'll be a shooting star, and since I have the plugin and everything, it'll let people know, which is kind of cool too. I feel like I'm camping a spot and I'm helping people in shooting stars, even if I'm not meaning to intentionally. It's kind of cool to have this spot covered for people. But yeah. So that kind of changes the goals from the year. The goals from the year were 99 woodcutting, 99 fletching, 99 farming, 99 smithing, 99 con, and then maybe 99 agility, and if lucky, 99 mining. And I already have woodcutting, fletching, and smithing. I've got mining, agility, and smithing at 90 plus, like 90. I don't have con. I don't have them as 99s, but we're only halfway, like a little bit over halfway through the year. However, like that's going to go quick. And if I do something like crafting that's really slow, it's a gatherer, right? Like essentially it is a gatherer. It's less XP per hour than rooftops. And you have to get everything yourself. So I would almost argue it's more of a gatherer than agility. on my build. So yeah, I'm not sure quite yet how much it's going to affect that, because I definitely won't be able to get smithing, con, and agility if I go the route of doing more crafting and mining. But it's all stuff that needs to get done, right? Hey, that's the thing. So I don't feel like I'm wasting time, because anything that needs to get done is getting done. So we'll see what happens. But I do want to aim for 99 smithing. I would love to at least get 99 smithing and 90 construction by the end of the year, especially if I did 87 crafting. But it is low XP per hour, so it takes a while to get a level at this phase of the account. And I don't have the greatest input. It's like 6 hours a week. So one of the reasons for that is we've had the craziest season of all. Uh, for those of you that do know or don't know, I've been in software engineering for 8 years now. I'm basically a semi self taught full stack engineer. I'm not the greatest engineer in the world. Um, I'm definitely not the worst. I would say I'm probably in the top 80th percentile, depending on what I'm doing, higher or lower. But I do have a lot of experience, and I've worked at some pretty big companies, but and done some pretty giant things for really large companies that have like 50,000 employees. So that's one aspect of my life that's pretty, I would say, makes it really difficult to put a lot of input into the game. And not in a negative sense. Like, I love my work. I mean, obviously, I'd love to hang out with my family all day and not work at all, but that would still be work in raising them. So, yeah, I mean, it's been great. But the software engineering industry was just completely smacked around. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, the amount of layoffs have been just disgusting in the last 2 to 3 years. The stability is basically gone, and both employers and employees are like super untrusting of one another now. Now there are some great companies, so I don't want to say that. I'm not saying like everywhere, obviously, but in generalizing, I can't even get the right word out. Um, yeah, it's been really bad. So I was laid off at a company that I did not want to work at. I'll just be honest. I did not like my boss. I did not like my team. I did not like management, most of all. I felt like management was horrible, just awful. And I've worked at so many different places, but that was the worst. The worst. And I would never say that publicly, like professionally, but it was bad. And I just grit my teeth, and every single day came with a smile on my face and did the best I could. Well, a majority of the company, the higher ups in the company that really had developed the company, they had all left. Like, I came in right, not as they were leaving, but like right before they left. So you can imagine it became very cannibalistic real quick. And some of those people left and they didn't get like equivalent roles. They got roles a level down, which is interesting. And yeah, the pay was incredible. But what they wanted from that pay was far more than I would be willing to pay. Not even from the work itself, but from the putting up with the management. So, and I've never had any problems with managers. Like, even if they don't like me or something like that, I work to get one thing done. So that was really rough. Then we got noticed because we actually were renting. We didn't own. It's really difficult to buy in California, and the market has been just horrible um, to buy, in my opinion. I mean, it's affordable, but a lot of Bay Area people have moved here, unfortunately, which I don't. It's like people moved out of California, but a lot of people moved in California to better places, which are the places that have always been better, but were less uh, enjoyed by people who worked in the Bay. So you can imagine they sell their little cardboard hut for $1 million, and then they come to where we are and buy everything out in cash and make a profit and get like a 5-bedroom house, and they're with a, it's, so it kind of sucks because this was like the last place in California, in my opinion, that was kind of a haven. And yeah, now it's just really expensive. So we moved up even a little bit more, which was because the owners wanted to sell the place to their daughter and son-in-law, and they didn't really quite know what they were getting themselves into buying the house because it was an old house. And I think that once they realized what they were paying for the house, which was market value, I think they were not happy. At least the son-in-law, which I knew there was gonna be drama. But that sucked. It really sucked. Both my sons, my two youngest, one's about to be 4 and the other one is 1. They were born. All they know is that place. So it was really home. In a court, we knew every single one of the neighbors. We did things like 4th of July with our neighbors, and that's something like, for example, this year we didn't do. It just sucks, so that's kind of, yeah, that was pretty painful. We also didn't have a place set up because I had just lost my job. So the timing was good in the sense that if you're going to lose a job, you also want to move and not have a lease that you have to keep up. Because if you get a new job and the new job is less, then you've got to take a smaller place or figure something out or go somewhere else. So, Providence would align that perfectly, which is great. I'm thankful for that. So things can always be worse. That tends to be how I imagine things, because there are far worse things that I've seen and people that I know have gone through. But losing your job and losing your home and having a wife and 3 kids and being the sole provider in the state of California, nonetheless, well, whew, that can be real tough. Well, thankfully we have like really strong, oh wait, I just do it all the way out here. I'm losing my marbles. Thankfully we have a really strong community and family and friends and all of that. And I had a post go viral on LinkedIn. I ended up landing multiple jobs. Actually, ended up landing 3 final offers. The one that I ended up going with was the one that is primarily work for the Department of Homeland Security. It would also have opportunities for the DoD, hopefully in the future. It is, going for, I had to go under investigation for a while. I got my entry on duty, and I'll have a public trust. I'll also soon have some clearance with FEMA. And then I'm hoping at some point I'll go for a top secret in addition to my public trust. So that way, if I have a top secret, which they sponsored, by the way, and that's expensive. So I'm grateful for that one. It's not the highest pay, but it's definitely more stable. And we're not directly for the government, so we aren't moving at such a slow pace. But at the same time, I'm looking at what I'm going to do, and it feels overwhelming, but I can see how it's going to be very easy for me coming from, not easy, but it's going to be easier for me to pick up and then be able to just smash out and become an excellent team member, really. And the team isn't cannibalistic at all because it's a small team. So I'm really enjoying it. This was my first week, but we still don't have a home. All of our stuff is in storage. Today's 4th of July. I woke up to my wife being on the floor in our bathroom where we're at, throwing up and yelling for me to get our youngest son, who's 1, who was crying. It was a trip because I had the day off for a whole day. I was like, what is going on? Well, she was in massive pain, throwing up. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have to call 911. And I'm like, I don't want to pay for an ambulance, but usually the ambulance, the only reason you really pay for it is because they typically will just instantly admit you. So you can bypass waiting in the ER, right? And in an emergency situation, you don't want to be waiting. But I was like, no, let's not do it. So she wanted me to stay home and watch all the kids. Her dad took her, who's also a chaplain, um, my father-in-law. And so I felt comfortable, obviously, it being her father, him taking her. So yeah, she had a huge kidney stone, like really bad kidney stone. So no wonder she was in such pain. But it's just stuff like that, constantly kicked. Then we had one car, literally, and this is just crazy to even say, but a squirrel chewed through both harnesses and the combustion line. Like a $18,000 car was totaled by a squirrel. And the guy who even assessed it for USAA, which is what I have, which is military insurance, but USAA was like, I see squirrel damage every week, but I don't see squirrel damage like this. I haven't seen it like this in 25 years. They might get through one whole harness, but they can usually repair that. But it's still intricate work and two harnesses, and but it was one less car payment. So even in all of these crazy difficult circumstances, it's like good things have been coming out of them. When I got laid off from that job, I was actually happy, but I didn't really process it quite, you know, I didn't figure it out until afterwards that there was people who were quitting who, when I messaged them, they said they quit for their mental health because of management. And I thought, you're right. I would have never quit because I got a family. I'll just keep taking it and I'll do what I have to do for my family. I've always been that way. Always known what I need to do for my family. Um, Barring, any kind of severe mental state, right? Because it's a lot of pressure and it's difficult. And some of you may not understand that yet, And so you can't even really comprehend it. To be honest, I think it's experiential. It'd be like, yeah, it's just like anything. You really can't comprehend something until you've experienced it for yourself. That's the truth. You can understand it intellectually, of course, but you can't really grasp it quite like you would if you've gone through it yourself. And there's tons of things I'm willing to admit humbly that I don't really comprehend because I haven't experientially gone through them. But I've gone through trials and difficulties before. I've gone through, years ago, before I my entire mind changed. My entire life changed. I mean, I was miserable. I was depressed. I was psychologically just nihilistic. Like it was not a good place for me. I used to drink and yeah, I mean, it's kind of psychotic, right? But who isn't? I mean, the people who pretend that they aren't a little crazy, they're the real crazy ones. But yeah, man, I've been through a lot of things, but this was, surgeries, injuries, just crazy things it feels like. But yeah, and even in my childhood, but this was really different. So yeah, that happened today. Fortunately, she was discharged, and tomorrow we've got an appointment early in the morning. Um, but it's not too late right now, so I figured I would record this. But in the midst of this, so many things have worked out. Like our tires were really bad; they were starting to bald, and we had only one vehicle left. And I'm like, how are we going to drive 2.5 hours to where all her family is in California? Like, how are we going to drive there with all of our stuff that we had? Because everything else was in storage, which that was another thing that we didn't, it was expensive, was moving and then putting it in storage and then getting rid of stuff, garbage runs, like trying to clean the house up in a really short window of time. It was just insane. Um, and then, you're every day you're applying, you're working on your craft, you're trying to put yourself out there, you're competing against thousands of people, thousands of people, right? And you don't want to, I really, yeah, just, and people are just super negative, and I just continued to see the positive. And I have to be strong. I had to be very strong because I need to be that way. I need to be based. I need to be based for my wife. I need to be based for my kids. And I had to deal and have had to deal with all of that to lead them through it, right? To father and to be a husband, right? Not when it's just convenient for me, or how, when it's simple or easy. But I mean, at the end of the day, thank God for Haktua. But I mean, that's just an extra perk of something like that happens and we all win. But yeah, man, it's been wild. So that made a lot of changes. We didn't have a house. We're staying with my in-laws for a few days. Well, all these things are providential in the sense that you can't really say it's fate because it's not just an impersonal thing, but you can't say it's just like luck either. When things happen and they happen together and in such unique ways, it's very like the probability of it is insane. So, pretty cool. For example, my daughter wanted to go to the summer camp. We were having to move. We had to move out before the summer camp, but our friends, our close friends, he had worked out in Southern California, and she was gonna stay with her mom with their kids, which is our friends and my daughter's best friend, and so she was able to go to summer camp, and we stayed at their place for the week. And then when we came out here, we were able to stay a couple of weeks at this home that is through a mutual connection with my wife's sister. She had just mentioned it to a group of women that she's friends with, and they were like, "Oh, we're actually going to be going out of town for like 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, and we were going to have like 5 people do things like take care of the pool, take care of the dog, all of that. Be there because it's just being empty for weeks. Like things could go bad in California." And they were going to have a bunch of people and all of that, and we were like, "We'll do it." And so we've been there, and he had an office, so I was able to set up my desktop and everything and do interviews and all of that. um and we've been swimming in the pool like every day and spending the cousins and all that. We've been going fishing. It's just amazing. um so I mean, and to be honest, with this kidney stone thing, it's even crazy because this happened like right after I started work. So, and some companies, they don't give you insurance right away, but my company, apparently they gave it to us. They give it to us effective of the first day of employment, as long as you apply for the insurance and pay for it. So even something like that, it's like, man, like that kidney stone didn't drop until right after. And then in the meantime, I got somebody from home sent me, a $250 Focus, right, set up, and a nice card. And then I've got friends that sent me $100 Dutch Bros gift card. Just stuff like that. And then people sending me money, like just sending me money. Like, and I've used it, basically all of it, to pay for bills and food. And we are not in massive debt from basically 3 months of unemployment. We have our deposit. We got our deposit back, which is really difficult to do, to get the full deposit back after 4 years living anywhere, to be honest. And we got a letter of recommendation from them. So we're, now I'm working. So we should be able to get a place. And we've applied to a couple of places. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, back home, because obviously we just have such a strong community there. And we sense that there's some partnerships with things happening over here, between people that we know here and people that we know back home, and how that's going to be connected is pretty cool. Like that might even be one of the reasons we're here. But that's changed everything. So I've been really enjoying the game when I can. I've been enjoying a couple of other games too. I am like a very late adopter to Elden Ring. I don't have tons and tons of time, and I really like relaxing, which is why old school's so great for me. Um, but at the same time, like I've been playing a little bit of Elden Ring. Um, I've been watching some shows instead of like House of Dragon, and some anime like Berserk. I've never watched Berserk. So I've been enjoying a couple of other things, obviously a lot of time with my family. So that's changed a lot of things. That being said, I am still making progress. And I still got all the buckets of sand, and I still got 90 smithing and 90 mining, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. So I really believe like consistency is the win, and as long as I'm having fun, it doesn't really make sense to, I don't know, uh, do anything else. I have other accounts that I want to play and different builds I want to do, but I don't do YouTube for just like profit. I don't get anything. Like, I think it's not. I thought that if I had 1,000 followers or subscribers or something, that I would be able to be monetized and make some decent money. And turns out like you also have to have a certain amount of channel views and views on your videos and stuff. So you really have to strike gold, you know? And I'm not saying that hard work isn't it, but what I mean by that is if you're not doing it and investing the beginning amount of time into it, just constantly putting stuff out, it's going to be really difficult to ever hit a stride where you're going to make it something you do all the time. That's just the truth. And that's because hard work pays off. The other reality is like old school RuneScape is a very niche, uh, very niche game. Like it's not really a game that's going to make you a lot of money. Like there's already established creators that have been around for a long time. I mean, I've been around longer than as long as them. And I was there when Sorect was doing things. I mean, whatever happened to Bonesaw Banff, right? But Bonesaw is already. Um, but yeah. So Transcend's been going good. I mean, definitely some changes there that always are a little bit sad. Like some people have left because they aren't really playing the mode much anymore. Um, some people have died on their hardcore. You know, it's always sad, to see something that's been almost a year and a half, or actually a year and a half now, running. I'm trying to think of the word for it. Just, yeah, just not dwindle because we keep having new people join, but just change. We still have a lot of people that are joining. Some days it's a little bit more sparse, but every single time I log on, there's people on. So, and sometimes there's more than any of the other channels that I guest in, and I'll jump in a bunch of different 10 HP level 3 clans and just to try to guest, to talk with other people. I like having relationships with a bunch of different people. That's always how I've been. I don't really, yeah. So, I'll jump into improve for a little bit sometimes and just, you know, or I'll jump into District 3, or I'll jump into Platform 10, or, well, I used to be able to jump into Platform 10. Now I only Discord. Or I'll jump into, even Olympus. Sometimes I'll just hang out in there, even though it's almost always dead quiet. I like to go to Exceed quite a bit because they tend to be a little bit more communicative. And I like Exceed. There's a lot of people that are in it that I know. But also, I'll go into Skilling Sanctuary. I like Skilling Sanctuary, to be honest, a lot. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, compared to those communities, sometimes it feels like my community is really small, the one that I'm in, and that there isn't that many people, but it's growing every day. And people are joining. They're just not people who play all the time. And that's okay. But yeah. So anyways, a lot going on. Super grateful, honestly, and growing in humility every day. Really humbled by how many people follow my channel and are subscribed to it, considering I don't upload even every week. You guys are incredible. I really do thank you for that. I'm thankful for how far we've come. Like we have done 9 progress videos and we are not stopping anytime soon. I think about it because I look at accounts that are better UIM level 3s than me that didn't change from the very beginning. I mean, I started this account, a year after they left. And my account is not where theirs is, but isn't that far behind. So I am very proud of the amount I've covered since I began this account, and it wasn't easy to do, and it's yeah, it's been a big part of that is the community and the people that you surround yourself with. Um, which I'm a grown man, so I like to keep people around me that are like honestly grown ups, and also still have fun. And I've been very thankful to find people in various communities, and especially our community, that are like-minded folk. So that's pretty much it for me. I know this has been a very long ramble, and I wanted to change the pace. It's been a while since I've done a very long ramble. There's a lot happening, honestly, even in the game. So, what's been going on with you? What would you like me to cover in the next ramble? What are some topics or questions or things that you have? I'd love to talk about it. Hopefully, I will have a comprehensive, full UIM level 3 guide out. I've got all the gear. I've got all the notes and the stuff together. I've got the clips. I've got what I need. I was the first UIM level 3 to make a UIM level 3 guide, like a full guide, not like a guide on just one skill or something I'd learned after I did it. I was the first to do it. So since then, it's taken different forms. Guardy did one. Mayfield's 2 versions were the best. What am I doing? So yeah, it feels like it's time. So I'm going to be working on that. Before that, I'll probably do that for video number 50. But before that, I'm going to be working on video for catching up on my quest and combat encounters. So going through all the quests. I've been doing that slowly, like trying to just figure out a whole quest list. And what does this list look like? What are the methods? Those types of things. So I have been working on that. And that'll be number 49. And then the big 50, meaning the 50th guide video I'll have on my channel, will be the UIM level 3 guide. So I'm excited about that. It's not going to be perfect or anything like that, but it's the only one you'll see on YouTube. So I think that that'll be cool. I'm excited to do that. I can't believe I've made 50 guide videos, which isn't a whole lot, but for me it is, because I do everything that I'm doing and then I play the game, and then I tend to still record what I'm doing in the game and try to make content with it for myself to archive and enjoy and to motivate myself and to have it all there. But I'm really proud of how every single time I've made something, it's gotten better and I've gone further. So that's pretty much it for me. I did the longest ramble I could possibly do. That's about everything I have. And hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was something you enjoyed listening to while you're gaming or doing something else, even if you're not watching me craft. Hopefully you're enjoying enjoyed your 4th of July, and otherwise are enjoying your life. And I'll see you guys, or listen, I guess you'll listen to me in the next one. Peace.